Today, our topic is a lesson from your text, The Many and the None. And it is written by Bansuri, Taneja, and Ashish Kothari. Two writers are here. So, this lesson deals with our environment, our ecosystem. Let me first read the first para of this. Variety, they say, is the spice of life. Spice means, or we can say the another word, material. And variety means different things. How boring? Boring means dull. We say boring, the another word is dull. If each day were like the other, and how distasteful without taste. We hear the word often, always. But how often do we think about the biodiversity? Biodiversity means the number and variety of plants. And animal species exist in this universe. In the urban centers of modern India, where middle class lives, a diversity of food is what might bring biodiversity to a level we can understand. How would it be if we only had potatoes, or for that matter, agrigane to live on, or only one variety of mango throughout India instead of the several hundreds that one can savor through the few months of summer? So, students, in the first para of this lesson, the author says that variety means different kinds of things, different kinds of these, whether plants, whether animals, whether vegetables, everything. Variety, as in our common life we say there were the variety of things, means different things. Variety, they say, is the spice of life. It means that our life, we cannot live with one thing or with one object in our life. We must have the variety of, and variety is the material of our life. Our life is depend upon variety, upon different things. And the author says how much it is boring if each day were like the other, that means if every day, if each day we take only one thing, we take only one meal, we take only one food, how much our life will be distasteful, without taste, and how much it will be dull. So the author says we hear the word often, but how often do we think about what biodiversity means to us? Actually, the lesson deals with biodiversity, or we can say it deals with our environment. And he says, what do we mean by this biodiversity? And bio actually means life. So diversity means how many, there are number of plants and variety of plants, number and variety of plants and animal species that exist in this, how much we think about them. And God has bestowed us with so many we can say so many things in order that we exist in this universe. So how much we think about these things? So the author says, India, where middle class lives, and in urban areas, a diversity of food is what might bring biodiversity to a level we can understand. So the author says that if we have a biodiversity, that means when we have different kinds of number of plants and things, then we can understand the biodiversity, or biodiversity to a level we can understand. How would it be if there were only we had the potatoes, or we can say only we have the onions, or we have only one vegetable, or only one variety of fruits? What would be there? That means he says that our life will be boring and we cannot exist happily, we cannot live happily in this universe. So in the second stanza, this para, biological diversity is the variety and variability of life on earth. Biological diversity. So biology, when we say biology, actually it deals with animals and plants. So he says diversity, that means when there is a diversity of them, when they were in a great number, in a huge number, is the variety and variability of life. Variability means change. So biological diversity, so when there were so many in a huge amount our plants and different animal species, and then our life has the change in our earth, it is manifest. Manifest means show. In close to 1,000 varieties of mangoes that thrive in India. And you see that if we take one mango, it has different kinds of, and it is shown when there are the variability and variety of these fruits, then our life get changing. Our life has, we can live with a stylish life. It is prevented in the 14 different kinds of wood we see depressingly inlaid to make a wall painting. So different woods are used in order to make different kinds of painting. If we extend our minds a little, if we think a little, we should be able to see that it also means the vibrant colors, means beautiful colors that characterize holy and Indian clothes. And we have different clothes, or we celebrate different festivals with different colors, which comes or used to tell synthetic to cover from a variety of dying, producing plants. So the author here says that we need biodiversity. That means biodiversity actually means when we have the number and variety of plants and animal species in this world, then we can enjoy this life very happily, and we can enjoy the different colors, and we can enjoy the different we can dress the different colorful clothes. And he says, and of course it also means the tiger and the rhino and the elephant, charismatic means attractive animals that evoke, that rise, ew means fear and excitement, and which are used as flagship species for conservation. So not only this, we have different kinds of animals, and at the same time we say they are our enemies, but they are the flagships of our to conserve our environment. Finally, it also includes the range of natural and human influenced ecosystem that we live amidst: forest, lakes, rivers, coasts and seas, grasslands, agriculture fields and pastures, deserts, snowbound lakes. But unfortunately, now these all natural things, whether there are lakes, there are rivers, there are coasts, there are seas, grasslands, they are influenced by the human beings. Even urban areas with stages of vegetation and water bodies. So in urban areas we say that different kinds of these vegetations and water bodies. Perhaps the least obvious aspect of biodiversity is genetic. And when we see the biodiversity, it is genetic. Genetic actually means it has come out of genes. Genes actually means the base of any organism is known as the gene. So variety in what constitutes the basic building block of all life is also the base of continuous evolution, and we should not forget that we humans are the product of the same process. So when there is variety, this variety actually, he says, it gives the basic building of all life. That our life is depend upon the variety, upon the different kinds of things, upon the different kinds of, whether they are plants, whether they are trees, whether they are these species, different species. He says that we humans are the protector of the same, and we are from this, even if we sometimes in our technological bravery. But in the this modern age is the age of science. We are the technical bravado, means we are the brave in technology. Think we are apart from nature. And when we think over this, and in this technological age, in this scientific age, we are the part of the nature. Diversity in genes also provide the basis for continued survival in the face of new or changing environment. So this diversity, it provides the basis for continued survival. When there are diversity in genes, it gives us the survival in the face of new or changing environments. When the number of lines are orangutans or of plant species decrease, these species lose their resilience to environmental change. And we see that in modern times, our species, for example, lions or plants, they resilience means ability to return to their environment or to tolerate the environment when they decreases, and there were the environmental changes or to genetic decay. And the base decay means the decay actually means they reduce, and then what eventually and at last succumb and they die. At another level, this fact comes home to us when we realize that vegetables are losing their distinctive taste. And in modern age, by this technological age, our vegetables, our fruits, they lost their natural taste. Why? Because having lost their natural variation and having been doctored actually means inject some poisoning chemicals for material production. And actually, in this age, we doctored our vegetables. That for what he says, distinctive tastes, doctored to reach the biggest size possible. And why we doctored them? Why we inject some chemicals in them? Why we inject some kinds of poison in them in order to raise their size? उनको बढ़ाने के लिए और attain the glossing exterior. Or we also give some kind of these chemicals in order that this external surfaces they got glossist, means red, as our fruits, their genetic diversity is quelled, and their genetic diversity, it is silenced to serve the function of yield and maximization. And what happens, we cannot cultivate so much and to suit our increasingly unidimensional view of what looks good. And we say only that our fruits should be looking good, not for taste or not for health, but this is the another thing that causes loss in our environment. Thanks.